will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last-minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovets1day.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the US military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok by coincidence? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking, but you know what? Maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine. Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Royal will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last-minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovets1day.com. If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra. You're probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans of the US military, and we also share the same birthday, July 25th. Isn't that rather interesting that we met through TikTok by coincidence? Anyways, you're probably getting tired of hearing my voice speaking. You got about the next maybe 2 hours of hearing it anyway. But at least you get Frankie's voice to break up mine.
My lip hurts like no tomorrow.
Hello, welcome to the Two Vets One Day podcast. Frankie and Royal will be getting on shortly. They're just doing some last-minute setups. In the meantime, follow us on our other social medias located at twovets1day.com.
Oh, no.
If you haven't done so already, please ensure that you have snacks as well as a hydration shorts, preferably water, or if you're feeling a little spicy today, something a little extra.
You got the agenda pulled
You're
up?
probably wondering why we're calling our podcast Two Vets One Day. Well, Frankie and I are both veterans.
Hey, everybody! It's me, Frankie the dog, and
Royal. What's up?
This is episode 3 of Two Vets One Day, and we've got a huge, and when I say huge, I mean a huge agenda to go through because we actually did some work today. Unlike normal. So, anyway, first off, Royal, do you know what Skype is?
Yes, I do remember Skype. I haven't used it in many years, but I miss it.
Well, after 22 years of it existing, Microsoft is going to take it out to the pasture and give it one little bullet right in the head.
No, Cujo, why?
Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be shut down for good. Next on the agenda that we'll be talking about is U.S.-Ukraine tensions, with Zelensky walking out on Trump, tragic shooting at the UPMC hospital. That's another thing with an active shooter that happened. Then we got Gene Hackman and wife found dead. Oh, no! Yes. So we'll talk about that, too. There's some mysterious circumstances involved with that. Then we got some game releases and updates. I mean, you know, the normal. We got some PC hardware drops. Yes, game. We got a Florida man story, which isn't as crazy as all the other ones, but, you know, it is a Florida man story all in of the same, right? And then we got VR and tech trends, what's happening there, crazy weather updates, and celebrity pop culture news. And maybe the most important thing right now would be the 7 planet alignments that are happening, because this is something that's happening at this very moment. So, let's start talking about it, shall we?
Yes!
All right, so first up on the agenda is going to be about the alignments of the planets. So listen, guys.
Ooh.
This doesn't happen except for maybe every 15 to 20 years, right? 7 planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, all aligned in the night sky in a rare celestial event known as a planetary parade. And, you know, like I said, it only happens every 15 to 20 years, and the next one's not expected till 2040. So it's already been sunset for us. And you're supposed to be able to see it just after sunset. So in the viewing window,
that was tonight?
Just a few hours. Yes, it's tonight. I
missed it.
Yeah, we missed it. However, there is a website that you can go to, and then you can watch You can see, you can like view all the stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Venus, Jupiter, and Mars were the only ones that were really easily visible to the naked eye. Then you had the ones that were kind of challenging without any kind of equipment, which is Mercury and Saturn. And then Uranus and Neptune would be requiring binoculars or telescopes. And Venus, obviously the brightest of the bunch. It's the evening star, as everyone knows, even though it's not a star. Then Jupiter is the second brightest, easily spotted in the night sky usually. And Mars, reddish in color, fairly easy to recognize, duh. Then we got Mercury, should be close to the horizon. If the sun's still up, it'd probably be lost in the sun's glare. And then we got Saturn, which is fainter, but only visible really under clear skies. And then the other two, well, it is what it is. They're too dim anyway, so who cares?
They gone.
But they'll stretch from western and southern horizon, so that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, isn't that? Don't they have something like that in a movie, where the planets align? I can't remember what movies. There's a couple movies that have
that
it.
sounds really familiar, but I don't know.
I'm about to look up these movies. Gotta get these names.
But yeah.
Right,
anyway, very rare. Doesn't happen often, and it's a major astronomy event. So there are effects on the gravitational forces of and Earth's orbit that are affected by that. So we don't know exactly what, so they're studying it, but they know that there is an effect. So that's pretty cool. And you can watch the event online if you haven't already. It had already been started at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 1700 GMT. And that is, you just got to look up Virtual Telescope Project. And they usually have that. They had that going on. So, anyway, speaking of things floating in space, let's talk about Hollywood's latest meltdowns, maybe Marvel delays, AI deepfakes, and Netflix cancellations, shall we? Because they suck.
Yeah, those deepfakes are intense.
Anyway, so to start everything off with the celebrity and pop culture news, we got Marvel movie delays. Is this really surprising?
No, not really. But there is one that I'm curious about. Apparently, there's one. It's called White Tiger.
I haven't even heard of that one. What is that one?
It's funny. To me, it's kind of the same thing as Black Panther. I've never really seen it, but it's a Puerto Rican actor, which this is the only time he's going to be in this movie because he's passed away now. But apparently there's another Marvel movie called White Tiger, and I didn't get to do much looking up on it, but I was kind of intrigued, and I just thought it was kind of like a dumb ripoff.
You know what? That's probably correct. Anyway.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Anyway, it's just another cash grab by Disney. Speaking of Disney, Disney announces major delays for multiple MCU films, pushing key titles further into 2026. The biggest delays are Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. That's pushed to November 2026. Deadpool and Wolverine. Didn't they already release that, or is this the second one?
It must be a second one then, because the first one's already out.
What's that one called?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Is it the same title?
I think so. I think they just put a number next to it or something.
Anyway, well, this one's still set for July 2025, but it's rumored to have extensive reshoots. The Blade reboot also facing massive rewrites and possible director change. And so what's causing the delays? MCU fatigue. So superhero movie hype is dying out, apparently. I enjoy watching them, so I don't know. I'm not a part of that world, I guess. I'm not factored into any of that. VFX crisis, overworked CGI teams, massive backlog. That I can understand. And Jonathan Major's legal troubles. The Kang actor's recent controversy forced Marvel to rethink its next phases.
I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't even know who that is either.
So are you a big Marvel guy?
I enjoy watching all of them, yeah.
I've been very picky. I guess I there's certain ones that I like to watch. I'll watch I almost called it Wakanda. I'll watch Black Panther. I'll watch like the Avengers. I'll watch that one, but I won't watch like Captain America. I won't watch like the individual movies that lead up to everything.
You won't watch Captain America? It's a pretty good movie.
I'm not that big fan of superhero movies.
Super Mario. Yep, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, Super Mario.
Yep.
Super Mario movies.
Hoovies. Yes, Super Mario Hoovies. Yes. All right. Awesome. Okay. So, since you're not really a fan of that kind of stuff, let's move on to AI deepfakes disrupting Hollywood. So, are actors really being replaced? Do you think? You think it's going to be a thing?
I don't think it's going to be 100 replacing them, but it's definitely going to take effect as to like if the actor is sick and they can't perform that day, they're going to use AI to fill in, which is going to take away from the actor as well.
It's possible. So AI generated deepfakes definitely becoming a major concern in Hollywood. You got scammers using AI, which I've seen, to create fake celebrity endorsements and deepfake videos. You got movie studios exploring AI-generated actors from the get-go, and also versions of deceased actors who have given their okay before they have passed, or their the trust after they have passed, getting permission from them. So that's the thing as well. And then you got strikes that were in 2023. They were partly about the AI protection. So
voice acting ones.
Well, all of it, honestly. Are actors' jobs at risk? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I think new up-and-coming actors and stuff like that are at risk.
No, like Tom Hanks and Keanu Reeves, you can't replace Keanu Reeves. It's just not a thing. Tom Hanks, you probably could. But they've both spoken out warning about the dangers of AI clones, and there is a thing. Yeah, there's AI clones running around. So the beautiful thing right now is all AI content, if you pay attention to it, is very obvious that it's AI. And yeah, they got the fingers all correct now, but there's a lot of issues that really put it in the uncanny valley, and it looks very unnatural. And if it looks unnatural, it's probably not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's usually something simple. Like you'll see like a slight twitch in the eye. It doesn't really look like a twitch. It just looks like a blending of the eye to the face. It's usually something small and minuscule, and you won't see it unless you actually like pay attention and try to figure it out.
But it will still look very, very odd.
Realistic.
It'll still look odd though. It might look realistic, but it's gonna look not kosher, if you know what I mean. Hi, Mrs. Frankie.
Yeah.
And so that moves us on to the next topic, which is Netflix keeping the cancellation of fan favorites going. So I
Netflix is so
really have no idea why this happens, but Netflix has a thing where they like to cancel seasons after the second or third season, and then they move on to another series. It's really annoying. It's the worst thing possible. There's so many series that I could probably think of that I wanted to see more of, and they cancel them. And one of those is not on this list, but I'm going to list all the ones that are just getting axed just recently. So we got Shadow and Bone. No idea what that is. Season 3.
Never
canceled despite huge fan following. We got 1899. I've heard of that one. That one's canceled even though it was #1 worldwide in its first week. And then we got Inside Job, popular animated show scrapped due to cost cutting. So there probably might be more, but I've seen previews of the Inside Job thing. Not my kind of animation. 1899. I might watch that in the future. Shadow and Bone. I have no idea what that is. That might be interesting to take a look at. But
question for you.
Yeah.
1899, is that the one of like the like it's like the horror film ones?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't really look into it very much.
Okay, because I know it's like a horror kind of one, and it's usually it has like a year, and then it says like some silly title after that. But it's usually about like some high school kid who ends up like in some horror scene.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like it has something to do with a horror. Yes. So it says multinational immigrants traveling from the old continent to the new encounter a nightmarish riddle aboard a second ship adrift on the open sea. So
I think that one might be a little bit different.
that looks interesting, but it is it looks to be a drama, horror, mystery, and sci-fi. So, a migrant steamship heads west to leave the old continent. The passengers, a mixed bag of European origins, united by their hopes and dreams for the new century and their future abroad. But their journey takes an unexpected turn when they discover another migrant ship adrift on the open sea. What they will find on board will turn their passage to the promised land into a horrifying nightmare.
So it probably could be like a weird spin-off, and instead of being, because the last one it was like kind of like myth stories.
Yeah.
And the myths were coming true, and they were hunting these specific people. And,
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the name of it is though.
It's usually like a year and some silly name after it.
Ah, gotcha. Yep. And then there was like a video game that had like the year and some silly name too.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, so the next one, Inside Job, never heard of anything having to do with that. So
Never even seen it.
Anyway, so why are they doing this? High production costs versus engagement. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that they need subscribers, and they're basing everything on subscribers. And so if it doesn't bring new ones in, it gets cut, right? So I guess that's a problem. And then you got no long-term commitment. Netflix focusing on quick hype instead of multi-season investments. They've always done that. And they love their reality TV and their cheap documentary series because that's cheap to make and it brings in people, right? But of course, you and I as fans are angry, right? You're angry, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
Because, now we got to wait for a show to get renewed, possibly from a different network, from a different service completely, because that's happened multiple times in the past. And it causes a never-ending cycle of, poor performance and more cancellations from Netflix because they really can't get their heads out of their asses. Oh, Mrs. Frankie,
there's so many shows that were on Netflix. There's so many shows on there that I love that got canceled, which is highly unfortunate. But
Agreed. Can I think of them now? No, not anymore. But you know what?
Yeah.
If they played their cards right, I'd be thinking about them right now, and I'd know exactly what their names are.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have anything else to add in this Netflix and series being canceled part of our agenda tonight?
Netflix, stop canceling shit.
Well, there you have it. Take that to the bank. Roll it up and smoke it. All right. So moving on to the next, we got TikTok chaos. Whoa! So
TikTok.
AI face swaps happening on there, going wild. So we got, I guess, there's new AI tools that allow realistic deepfakes. So I guess that raises concerns, right? And then we got U.S. government still considering a TikTok ban. So
I thought this was over.
We still don't even know if they're actually selling its U.S. division yet or not. So, I mean, I think it's April 5th is the deadline. I have a feeling that it's going to get extended again. Oh,
this is like a weird tug of war.
Yeah, I honestly I have no idea. And
I can see you updating the file.
I didn't really check this out, but there's that TikTok ban.
Major TikTok bans a major influencer for misleading sponsorships, sparking controversy. Oh yeah.
Okay, so which one? I'm trying to remember which one it was actually.
Which article?
Yeah. Whoops.
You see, I thought this whole TikTok ban was over because they put it back into the stores.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I didn't know it's just still going on. That's stupid. That's no fun.
To be honest,
maybe TikTok will go dark for 16 hours this time.
To be honest, though, I don't know who it was, who the major influencer was for misleading sponsorships. But the thing is that's been happening across all the platforms lately. You know, you got a lot of misleading sponsorships. You got a lot of dark deals. You know, you got some controversies around like Linus Tech Tips and stuff like that with Honey. You know the Honey service. You know what I'm talking about, right?
The Honey service?
Yeah. It's a browser extension that actively searches the websites that you're on that have like stuff to buy and looks for discounts, codes, and stuff like that. Well, apparently,
I never heard of that.
Honey was at the very end. You know, when you clicked on your favorite creator's link, their affiliate link, Honey was actually replacing that affiliate link at the very last second. Once you've clicked it, to their own referral and not the creators. So the creator wasn't getting... The creator wasn't getting...
that's fucked.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, I would be so angry.
And like, so apparently Linus Tech Tips, like 2 years ago, stopped doing any kind of advertisements with Honey, but didn't mention why they did it. And so everybody's all angry at them for not mentioning it. And in my opinion, I'm like, I don't really care. Like in the end,
if I was affected by it, I'd care.
In the end, it doesn't affect all the viewers, you know, all of them, and it's not Linus Tech Tips' responsibility to make this public to everybody at all. They don't know who is doing Honey sponsorships and stuff like that. It's not their responsibility to keep track of that. So
it's not even their application.
Instead, they made a little comment about like certain practices that were happening after the link was clicked, but they didn't go into detail. So I mean, I think it's everybody else's fault for not like looking at that and going, I wonder what this is about.
Yeah. I mean, if I was I don't even know if this is a big company or not, but if I were a big company and it was something like that happened, I'd obviously try to take care of my creators, right? But I wouldn't want to raise alarm, so I definitely wouldn't give all the details at once. I'd make sure I got a extremely definitive answer, then proceed with a reasonable explanation. That way, it's easy for everyone to understand, not big words that people are not going to understand.
Makes sense. So what else do you think in terms of TikTok? Any news? Any thoughts before we move on?
I don't know about you, but my TikTok is absolutely political right now.
Oh.
Like every time I scroll, it's either someone selling something or something about politics.
Mine is a little different. You got the TikTok shop stuff happening, and then you got like some politics mixed in there, and then there's a lot of furries. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I think that was my fault.
Because I'm not a furry. Why would I?
I know you're not.
Damn it.
But you have a lot of furry friends.
I do. That's probably why.
That explains it all.
Uh-huh. Anywho, let's move on to PC hardware and tech news, shall we?
Ooh, a bunch of stuff I know nothing about. My favorite.
So, AMD Radeon RX 9070 and 9070 XT. It's rumored to be taking on the 5070 in terms of performance. But I don't know nothing about Radeon at all whatsoever.
Never.
But they're going to be priced
no idea.
at around $549 to $599 March 6th. That's when they're supposed to be launched.
Is that even a good quality? It's a graphics card, right?
Yeah. It's like a 5070. That's like a mid-range. Mid-range of current.
These numbers confuse me.
Current generation. And then we got the Samsung 9100 Pro SSD, PCIe Gen 5. That's freaking amazing. Crazy fast speeds. That's coming March 2025. That's really good for creators, especially if you're doing any kind of video art work on like DaVinci Resolve, where you got like mirrors and you're scrubbing and all that stuff. You want the absolute highest speed possible so you can zoom through that video and edit it and get it fully produced to be posted online. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. There's an RTX 5070 GPU update from NVIDIA. Says that there's supply issues that are still persisting and stock updates expected soon. I
gotta check mine.
I have not encountered at all within the last several releases any kind of non-paper release of products from NVIDIA. So I expect more of the same. Not available right away for everybody to be able to buy right away because there's only a little bit of supply available and a lot of demand. Plus, you got the scalpers who are scalping, trying to buy all of them up. Yeah. So there's that.
Kind of reminds me of all the Ford trucks. I think it was Ford. They had all these trucks on production line, but they didn't have the chips for them. So they couldn't sell the trucks.
So stupid. And then Intel's 14th gen processor pre-orders are open. Supposed to be higher efficiency, better gaming performance. Again, I don't care about that stuff. I jumped to AMD with the 7950X3D, and I am happy as a clam, to be honest. And
can clams be happy though?
Oh, absolutely, 100% if they're curved. Anyway. So Microsoft's Windows 11 update, new AI-powered features and security boosts are rolling out. So now we're going to have AI in Windows 11. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Or maybe not. It just
I don't
depends.
like AI much.
Well, I do. I think it's pretty great if it's used in a responsible way, you know?
Yes. Not like, oh yeah, I made this AI video.
Well,
and I'm getting thousands of dollars of it.
Yeah.
That's annoying me. If it's like, hey, make this sound better. Then boom, cool.
If you could create something that is solely unique and it's something you want to see, for instance, you want to see Ben Stiller riding a T-Rex. Shoot, it'll do it. And it's like, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people making money from having AI make that. Okay? Because it wouldn't have existed otherwise. All right? Ever.
I mean, if it's something stupid, sure.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Alex from InfoWars riding a frog with the flag behind him,
Riding a frog. I don't think
a trans flag. They're making the frogs.
I don't. Oh. Okay, now I get it now.
Yeah. Or like that. Riding into battle, like that kind of stuff I would enjoy seeing. I get a crack up about, you know what I mean?
Isn't that a George Washington picture where he's on a horse and he has a flag and stuff and he's just like
I think so.
It looks like it's but that picture, the same battle scene, the frog, the flag, that person you just mentioned, just like
yeah, Alex. Alex Jones. Anyway, so so Windows 11 having AI. Not a bad idea. I like the idea of using AI, especially when you want to do research, but you don't want to spend all that time going to all the websites. You have AI give you all of them and then the sources, and then you can go directly to those sources to see what it says by itself. You know what I mean? So it's just like it helps with the workflow. It makes it faster. That's what I like about AI. It makes your workflow faster. And I think that's an important thing. I think it's very good to be used that way. You know what I mean?
I think it's the best part of it.
Can you imagine an artist having created a whole bunch of art and then has a locally contained AI that just takes in all those images and then assists in creating art with them? I mean, it's using only their derivative artwork, not using any other derivative artwork. So all it knows is how they do the art. And then when they create something new, they're like, oh, put a background in there. I want a background similar to this one. And then it just like, boop, boop, boop.
Well, yeah, the background will make sense. I don't mind the background, but say if you went to them hey, I'm gonna pay you $50 for this picture of this character, and they just plug it into the AI and say, hey, draw this character using my art style, and and then it go, here you go. They didn't. You paid. You like overpaid.
Well,
like,
I mean,
because they didn't actually put the work in for that.
But the thing is like if your AI is self-contained, locally contained, and the only thing that it gets is stuff that you feed into it, and you're only feeding in your artwork, then all it's going to know is what you've already made.
True, but then it won't
So
be unique.
if you make
features of
well,
all the other
the
stuff.
thing is, like, if you make a whole bunch of backgrounds that are all something you made yourself, and you train it to be like, okay, that's a tree in my design. That's a tree. This is a bench. This is a this. This is a that. This is a cloud. This is a sky. And
if you train it,
and your focus
Bad
is
AI.
you make the you make the character yourself. You draw out that character yourself, and then you're like, all right, background now. Give me a background with
I see what you're saying.
trees, maybe like a medieval tower in the background, and they're like, oh wait a minute, yeah, you've already made one of those. Let me just fever dream a new version of that. And
But you're
then-
saying the character itself is made by the artist, not the AI.
yeah.
Okay. Now we're on the same page.
Yeah, or like AI could also take your artwork as an artist, and you can be like, cut out that character from that scene. Floop, done.
Yeah, see, things like that, it's fairly useful.
Yeah. Like super awesome.
Just sit on.
It's just the workflow.
Oh, got
It's things that most people in the past have had to learn a million little tricks to do their one thing, because programs, for one reason or another, like Adobe Photoshop or whatever, don't have the ability to do those specific things or allow you to do those specific things, right? So, I don't know.
Or you would have to get Photoshop, and it has to be a black and white checkerboard background, and then you have to sit there and trace every little inch.
Yeah, instead you can have AI do that for you. And that's the tedious part. That's the super tedious part. That's the part that I don't want to do anymore. I've done it before. And people are complaining, "Oh, that's going to take away jobs from people." Like, what jobs? Where?
It's not taking that's saving an artist hours of painstaking work.
Who is going on Fiverr going, "Oh, trace your artwork out so you have a transparent background. $2." It's like, that's no.
You reminded me of this guy. I don't know if he's blonde or if he's ginger, but I can't remember. But like he always uses the face filter, and like he's like, "Oh, the dinosaurs." I don't know. It's like he had an animation show made of him. What the fuck's this guy's name?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you. I don't know how I'm gonna find it. Never mind. I gotta find it later because it's gonna take me like an hour to like think of ways. AI. I need AI to help me.
I was
figure
about to
this out
say,
here.
ask seriously, ask ChatGPT.
Oh,
It probably
Battle
already knows. So anyway, let's move on to military and space news. So, U.S.-Ukraine conflict tensions grow. It could affect NATO and global military strategies and stuff like that. You have any thoughts on that? I don't have any thoughts on it, but
So
thought I'd say something.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a major global military strategy complication. I don't know if you've seen how some of that conversation went down with the VP, the president, and the president of Ukraine.
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
So basically, for those who haven't seen it, the VP's talking to the president of the Ukraine. The president of the Ukraine is like trying to like speak back. Here we go. The VP speaks over and just like speaks over. And then the president of Ukraine starts like talking to our president. And then our president's just like, "Nah, man, you're not gonna cry in front of us and like continue to beg for this or that." And I'm not saying the exact words. I'm just putting my understanding the way I seen it. But he basically like put his foot down and was like, "No, you can't come in here and tell us what you want. Like this is not how that works." And depending on how this goes with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, that's gonna change a lot because we all know Russia is like one side of the planet that is completely seen as like crazy. I'm not calling you crazy if you're out there, but a lot of people have a different view of it.
It's government.
But exactly, it's a lot of politics, stupid stuff. But it's like, say, if we went to war with China, now our allies are gonna switch over to China. Not all of them, but some of them may, teeter-totter on which side they want to be on. And this is a good example of that, because right now we're trying to be happy-go-lucky medium with a lot of negative saying it's going the other way. That it's, who knows what's going to be the outcome of it later. Who's gonna be our ally after this situation?
Makes sense. My answer to that is, I don't know. Honestly, no idea.
That's my standpoint.
But yeah. Ultimately, I got the same desire as what's been said by Trump, and that is, it just needs to end. Just stop it now.
It does. At this point,
no more.
It's
more
gone
people
too long
dying. We don't need people dying for this. We're done. That's it.
And a lot of them are volunteers over there too. A lot of people who volunteer to fight the war for the Ukraine.
Well, there was conscription too.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
And there's there might be some people that volunteered initially, but I think they're out of volunteers now. Well, you mean like volunteers that are not from that country, you mean?
Well, there's not, I wouldn't say there's that many of those, but I mean, the country itself definitely doesn't have many people who want to stand up for themselves, but there's nothing we can do about that. I mean,
it is what it is. If
I'm more of like, if you have a problem, this guy has a problem, and hey, your numbers are low and you're losing, sorry, dude, you picked the fight.
Yeah. Just needs to end.
Exactly.
Get it done.
At this point, one of y'all need to just bite the dart and just give up whatever it is, or let go of whatever it is you want.
Stop killing your citizens. Just stop.
Eventually, it's going to turn into a new Middle East. It's just going to be a destroyed war zone with no homes, back to the poverty world of living in mud houses again. I mean, the Middle East, I wouldn't say most of it, but a lot of the Middle East
back
is
to the Middle Ages.
Broken down. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Jeez. Oh, and so there's that. And we're done talking about that subject. But we're moving on to the Pentagon's AI battletech tech. Or battlefield tech. So autonomous drones and AI-driven warfare being tested right now. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I like that.
I think it's cool.
I like that.
And I think it might get to the point where everybody starts using drones as soldiers instead of humans. And then it'll all of a sudden become televised. And then you'll start watching people taking bets. It's going to become a new sport, technically.
Oh, dude, that would actually be pretty good. No, nobody's hurt during that. It's just money spent. On top of that, we can watch the Terminator IRL.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Yay. So, yeah. Nothing to worry about there, I swear. Anyway, we got
drone kicks down your door.
We got NASA Artemis possibly getting delayed again. That's not a surprise when it comes to NASA. They like to delay everything that they do, and they move as slow as molasses like any other government organization, So,
are you big on the whole moon landing thing?
I know it happened.
But are you into it? If they're yeah, this is flying out to the moon tomorrow, would you be yeah, I'm going? And would you go purposely out of your way to go see moon stuff happen?
I would purposely go out of the way to go to the moon, yes.
That was a different question, but okay. I like that one better.
I would sign up to go to the moon for an excursion, yes. Absolutely, 100%.
I think I'll get claustrophobic. I won't be able to do that. I can't be confined to one small space.
I could live with it as long as I get to go to another planet.
Oh, gosh.
Specifically Mars. I want to go to Mars. I think it would be freaking amazing. If we could find out a way to have super fast travel, allowing us to just take 8 hours like a plane trip all the way to Mars.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
To visit Mars. Heck yeah, I would be going on vacation to Mars.
That's not a bad vacation if it only takes 8 hours to get there. That'd be pretty
Right.
nice.
Yeah. But
You know where I
that'll
want to
depend.
go?
Where?
Uranus. Oh, there's nothing else to it. I just want to go to the planet. Something, buddy.
Anyway,
And now I'm sweating.
SpaceX Starship test flight. So, there's a new Starship launch window coming mid-March. I'm excited. I want to watch it. I love everything that SpaceX is doing. I love the way that they're able to catch those rockets in midair and reuse them. That's freaking amazing. And I'm excited for more. More. I need more.
Is that the one where like it landed basically like kind of where it took off from?
Yes.
Okay, so I did see that video. I thought that was like an AI video of someone making like something stupid.
No, it's real.
I didn't know. I didn't know it was real.
The
at
rocket
all.
comes in, it's like this, wavering like this, and all of a sudden it just activates and it goes. The little forks are there, and
Yep.
it just like.
Yep. I thought it was an AI video.
Nope, it's real. Freaking amazing.
Oh shit. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for more of that. What about you? Are you excited for more space stuff, space travel, and all that?
I would like to see more stuff like that, but like I come back with something more than just the rock.
He went to the floor.
Oh shit, I'm covering my tracker.
There he is. Welcome back.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome back. Welcome back from the void.
With the space, I saw the moon.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dude, I'm fucking sweating so hard right now, dude.
Why are you sweating? Why? What's the
My
matter?
room is hot as hell. I don't think I opened my window.
And you've been opening your mouth a lot, breathing
Oh yeah, dude.
by talking. Yeah, I understand. I do the same thing. At the end of my lives, after like 8 or 9 hours, oh my God, my room is so hot. I think it's cold.
Dude.
And then like the wife comes in and I just feel the cold air rushing in. And I'm like, huh, out there used to be as cold as in here.
It's so calm.
Or in here used to be as cold as out there. And then at the end of my 8 hours, it's a lot warmer. And then I look at the window and it's all fogged up. I'm going to do
It's
something
gonna be
weird.
weird for you guys. Yeah.
That's your crotch. Yep.
Oh, hey, wait, stop looking.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh shit! I almost busting my ass, dude.
Oh, my Lord.
What? I didn't mean to. I didn't know where the camera. I got two big screens here.
Okay. All right. So, that's all cool. Amazing stuff. I can't wait for Space Elevator to be a thing. That'll be awesome. That
Dude,
would
me
make things
too.
So much cheaper. So much cheaper. And then they could build the spaceships out there. You know, I have
Do you
this imagination.
think it will be cheaper though?
Yes. I have this imagination, like I imagine, like with the space elevator at the very end is like a warehouse and also a construction yard. And instead of having to use regular welding, they could do space welding, where they could just put the pieces of metal together and they're now one piece.
I don't know how that would work.
It's how it works. That's how it works in space. You ever heard of cold welding?
Seen underwater welding.
Okay, so it's like a natural phenomenon that happens between like similar surfaces that and that's what like flux is designed to do here on Earth, and it is to clean the site and completely remove air and everything from in the area, which allows for a very good solid weld. But up in space, you have none of that air. You have none of the molecules or anything that would get in the way. So what happens is the materials want to be together. They want to combine. So when you put them together, it becomes one piece. You don't have to get anything hot and like use welding or anything like that. You just put them together.
So if I take one iron nugget, right, like a little bar, right? If I take one iron nugget and I put it to another iron nugget, I will have one solid nugget.
Yes.
And if I came back to Earth, it'd still be one solid nugget.
Yes.
I wish I had money so I could test this.
No, it's already a thing. It's already science fact. So
No, I just want to see it for myself.
Oh, I got you. Well, like materials like to be together with like materials, and if there's no air, if there's no atmosphere whatsoever, and you have huge amounts of pressure like you would have in space, all that stuff combined creates the perfect cold welding steel, like putting together. I don't know if any other materials are like that, but I know with steel, it's like that.
I want to see that happen very badly.
Provided you have provided you've like cleaned the surface, it should just boom.
It's like Legos.
Boom, just be glued together forever. It literally becomes one piece.
You think there's a video of that?
Probably, yeah. I would imagine so. Yeah, go ahead. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to the Florida Man story of the week.
Oh,
Florida Man! Yes. This one's not so, Hey, where'd you go, Hand? This one's not so crazy, but it's still kind of funny because it doesn't happen anywhere else. So, apparently there was a golfer, Billy Horschel, who had to gently nudge an alligator off the green. And unlike you or I, who would be running for the hills when we see an alligator there, he just shrugged it off like it was just another day on the course.
So you just let the alligator sit there?
No. He nudged it off with his club, nudged it off of the green, and then continued doing his thing.
He's ballsy, man. I wouldn't go next to the gate. I'll wait till that thing moves.
Now, I don't really know much about golf, but he finished the round at 5 under 66, whatever that is.
Oh, so it takes 66 strokes to fully end the match on par. So you said he was 5 under?
Yeah.
So he took 5 less swings.
Oh.
So 66 is breaking even, 67 is plus 1 bogey, and anything under 66 is like a really good score. So the lower number of strokes, the better you are at golf.
Gotcha. All right. Microsoft officially shutting down Skype after 22 years. Pushes users to the Teams app instead. You know, I used that at my old job. I actually enjoyed the Teams app. I think it's pretty great. I like it.
I like it.
So it was once the dominant video call application, way ahead of Zoom and Discord and WhatsApp in terms of people who were using it. And now it's lost ground. And now it's going to be taken to the pastures. The infinite pastures of softwares that are no longer used, no longer updated, no longer bundled with anything. It is...
I'm a pole bearer for Skype.
It is the end. Oh, poor Skype. The exact shutdown date is still to be determined, but support's going to phase out in 2025, so sometime this year.
Yeah, I never really used Skype. When I first got my laptop many years ago, I was Uvu was the application that I used.
I never used
for
Skype.
Video calling.
Never in my life have I used Skype.
I've only used it for like work once or twice, but that's about it.
Not once did I use it for anything. Not once. That thing was deleted as soon as I had a new install of Windows. Goodbye, Skype. All right, let's move on to some more sad news of this week and last week. Tragic active shooter incident at UPMC Memorial Hospital.
Yes, please tell us more of this.
A grieving man is the shooter. He took ICU staff hostage in Pennsylvania. An officer was fatally shot and 5 others were wounded before their gunman was killed.
Oof.
So, not necessarily a mass shooting, but it was an active shooter situation. And the guy
was grieving, like
he was grieving. Yes. He was grieving from what might have happened at that hospital for a family member or something. I don't remember exactly the full details. It doesn't really matter too much what the details are. But it looks like there's new debates about hospital security and rising violence against healthcare workers, probably stemming from the CEO that was taken out about a month ago. Probably starting with that. Like you got issues.
Do you think it's related to that?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's related to it, but it's going to make people more willing to do things, if you know what I mean. Especially with how people were putting that person up on a pedestal. You know what I mean?
That's why I was asking if this one was connected, because he basically started a weird movement.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I don't even want to call it a movement, but that's kind of like how they see it and how they idolize it.
Ugh. It's one of those things, and you know what? People, you need to focus on your representatives. You need to make sure that they're not trying to go after the wrong people. Insurance companies are not the people to go after. It is the drug companies that you want them to go after.
Big Pharma.
Big Pharma.
Oh, wait, that was canceled. That's gonna.
Oh, my God. Netflix. All right. Moving on to another sad and tragic news item. Gene Hackman. He was found dead with his wife. He was 95 years old, so they're expecting it's possibly going to be natural causes. And his 65-year-old wife, Betsy, they were found deceased in her Santa Fe home. Now, it's possible carbon monoxide poisoning is a thing, but they found no leaks at the time they were there. One of their 3 dogs also died inside of a kennel of sorts in a closet. So that dog was placed in a kennel at some point in time and then died of starvation or died of carbon monoxide or whatever. There was also a pill bottle with pills strewn across the ground over where Betsy was laying. So it's possible that the dog might have gotten one of those and passed away and as a result. But there were other 2 dogs there that were still alive. Who one was laying or sitting next to Betsy, the other one was roaming around the house when they got in. So the toxicology results are pending. It's going to take about a month. Usually, it takes about that long to get toxicology reports back. So we don't know what the deal is. For me, though, I think the 95-year-old actor Gene Hackman probably died of a natural cause, and Betsy was probably deeply and madly in love with him. And either did this thing to herself, or it just so happens that carbon monoxide was some kind of contributing factor, or maybe they both got carbon monoxide poisoning and he was on his way to try to get help and he couldn't get out, and they both passed away. But it's still kind of weird that 2 of the dogs are still alive. So I feel like that's going to rule that out completely. I think she just could not live without him, which is completely understandable. I would have a hard time going on through life after my wife passes away.
Yeah, that'll be pretty painful.
The thought would go through my mind that I might end it too. I'm already just as old. She passed away with natural causes or the other way around. And I'm like, I don't feel like I want to live life without my partner and then just be done. So I don't know. I mean,
I can understand it, but I mean, I wouldn't do that.
I understand it 100%, but honestly, I would probably contact authorities if my significant other was passed away, so I can make sure that they were buried in the right way, in the way she wants to be, and then and only then would I just decide what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I would probably just have a bucket list that I want to finish everything before croaking. You know what I mean?
Go to Mars.
That's
There you
probably
go.
what happened. Yeah, go to Mars. Live the rest of my 2 months alive on Mars.
Make AI work. Make a short film and then get it canceled by Netflix.
Yes.
There's another actress. I don't know if you remember the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Gossip Girl.
I forgot to add that in.
Michelle Trachtenberg. I don't know if I said her name right, but she passed at the age of 39. She was actually found dead on Wednesday in Manhattan. I'm trying to see. I don't think they have any cause yet.
The wife was talking about that, and she said it put her in perspective because she was born the same year, so she's 39 as well. And she's like, oh my gosh, people around me are passing away. They're my age. And I was kind of, as the glass half full person, always, I try to be anyway. I was like, honey, you may not realize this, but there's a lot of people in Hollywood who have passed away at around that age throughout the ages for one reason or another. It seems like it's a big deal. It's a big news. It might be affecting you, but no, this has happened a lot. It just so happens that you're now that age where they're doing it.
Yeah. Usually in Hollywood, it's usually a substance abuse. That's most. I wouldn't say most, but that's a lot of the underaged ones. Or I should say, a lot of the younger actors, actresses.
I was about to say.
Same thing with musicians, artists. I should say younger. But usually, I don't even know how to put that into words or another perspective.
I don't know. Shall we move on?
Yeah. I don't think there's anymore else to say about that.
Done with the sad news, that kind of sad news. All right, video game releases and updates. Yay! Major game releases. Monster Hunter Wilds. There's a few of my viewers and also some people that I've been talking with that I battle with occasionally that have been playing Monster Hunter Wilds. So that's open, that's released, and people are playing it. They're enjoying it. We got Justice Ninja Casey. Have no idea what that is. Dollhouse Behind the Broken Mirror. No idea. Farming Simulator VR.
Ooh.
That sounds kind of cool. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. It's the mobile game. What's already what?
So Farming Simulator is like already a game. It's just for VR. This is the VR version.
Yes. That's why I said Farming Simulator VR for MetaQuest.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm deaf.
And then you got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection, Retro Collection for PC and Switch. All the other ones are for PS5, PS4, Xbox, PC, Series XS, depending on what the games are.
I'm excited about. You said Monster Hunter was out already, right?
Monster Hunter.
That one I definitely
Wilds,
want to play. I do like Monster Hunter. Yu-Gi-Oh! It says collection, so I'm assuming that's going to be like the PlayStation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if anybody else remembers playing that one, but that was super fun.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection is a retro collection for PC and Switch.
Perfect. I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for that one because I definitely do want to play that.
Nice. All right. Anything else, like in terms of games, game news that you can think of at all?
No, not that I can think of. There hasn't really been much that I've been seeing around.
I haven't really been playing
besides
much
like
either.
Releases.
I haven't been playing much games at all either. Just this one that we're on right now. It seems like
it's very rare to see me on some other one.
For me, it's like a desert for me right now. There's no game out there that I want to play. Not particularly. So it is what it is. I probably won't even touch Monster Hunter Wilds, honestly. I didn't touch the other one either. So, anyway, we'll move on to more tech-related news, which is VR. Apple Vision Pro facing struggles after initial hype with that super expensive headset that they got.
I was about to say,
freaking $3,499. My lord.
That's a lot.
And they say sales are lower than expected. Well, of course, duh. With that high of a price for what you get, you don't get much. You get the Apple brand. That's what you get. So why are users disappointed? Well, obviously the price. It makes it an ultra niche product, right? Battery life issues is only 2 hours on a charge. So you can't even use it.
That's trash.
You can't even use it, for extended time at all. It's
like
definitely
for a business
trash.
call.
Yeah, exactly. It lacks major software support, so there's no dedicated AAA gaming. Only some VR-compatible apps like Disney Plus and spatial computing features, which is worthless to the majority of people who would be into VR in the first place.
Yep.
Then you have weight and discomfort compliance. So users report neck strain and bulky feel for long-term use, which really isn't that big of a deal because it's a 2-hour battery. So you're only going to be using it for 2 hours. Good night, boys. Love you.
And we're on here for numerous hours.
Exactly. Like, it's worthless. It's worthless. There is nothing.
Strengthen your neck muscles.
There is no reason why you should ever buy that Apple headset. Not one reason. None. Zero, zip, zilch, nada. All right? Moving on. Wait. Okay, right now, their response? What is Apple's response? They're working on an Apple Vision SE. A cheaper model rumored for 2026 for $1,500 to $2,000, because that's going to solve it all.
It's going to have a 30-minute lifespan.
And they're partnering with Netflix and Hollywood to develop exclusive AR, VR content. I can see that's the only save that they're going to have, to be honest. And they're focusing on enterprise
That would
use.
be rather interesting.
Companies exploring virtual workspaces and remote AR collaboration. I do not see this being that big of a thing at all. Not at all.
There's Apple nuts out there. There's people who are crazy about Apple. They have to have everything Apple.
And I know. And I don't really understand why. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. I understand they like the closed ecosystem. They like to be confined in a small space and not have an open space. They want to be in a prison cell of technology. That's okay. You want to be in a prison cell of technology? Go ahead. Go do that, okay? That's not my prerogative.
Get canceled.
Yeah. I like to have, the freedom to roam. So Android and all those places that allow you to install stuff that's outside of their store, I like that. I think that's a great idea. I don't like? Apple. Sorry, I don't like Apple.
I like oranges.
I don't like eating apples either. That's the thing. I'll eat oranges before apples.
I can't eat apples. My lips and my throat get itchy.
That's so weird. That is so weird.
It started over a couple years ago. But did you know your allergies change every 7 years?
I mean,
not all of them, but some allergies, small, minute ones.
I mean, over time, yes, you can lose an allergy. You can gain an allergy. Yes. Absolutely, 100%. Mm-hmm. I used to be allergic to penicillin and amoxicillin. According to the allergist, I am not allergic to those anymore, at least not as much as I used to be. So
I'd still be careful taking them, though, if you need it.
Oh, heck yeah. Right. All right, so
that's a big oof.
Now, let's move on to Meta's AI avatar, shall we? We're entering a sci-fi future where the NPCs are going to be powered by AI. Which, by the way, honestly, I welcome that in most of the games that I play. I would love to have AI NPCs. Okay?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. And maybe we could have them, have some of them that are not AI NPCs, maybe store managers or specific characters that are a part of a storyline or whatever. They can be voiced by a voice actor and not AI. Or They could be voiced by a voice actor who says all of the lines and says thousands upon thousands of lines, and then the AI can pick and choose from those lines what it wants to say in response to you. Or you can have the general AI, the general NPC populace be controlled by AI, so they all are unique and they respond to you in different ways, and they don't have to be voiced by a specific voice actor. You can use those to be, just random voices that are created by AI. Because AI is now getting to the point where it can actually speak and sound like a real human being or monster or creature, whatever you want to decide it wants to sound like. Because it's not that hard to put in information about speech into AI. So I think that's another good use case, honestly.
Yes.
And another good use case would be using AI to generate planets and this or that based on science and all of that, and then add in NPCs into those worlds. I think that would be a cool idea, honestly. It would be a good use of AI.
I think that'd be interesting. There's nights where there's only a few people that I hang out with here in VR. There's a bunch of people on my friends list, but there's only a handful of people I would actually hang out with.
Yeah.
And it's just because these are the people I vibe with the most. Everyone else is always doing something crazy or sleeping. So I think that'd be great, because if I can't access any of those friends at the moment, I'll just go over there and I can just interact with a computer and feel like I'm playing a game and have no mindset that I'm actually not surrounded by anyone there but myself.
Yep. Not to mention, you'd be able to get into situations where, you can mess around with the AI, and that provides countless hours of fun. There's a specific individual who is a lady who does VR content. I can't remember what her name is, but she has a whole setup where she got a big old room. She's got a camera that's on her, and she does a Fusrota in Skyrim. But she's added in some mods that have been made available where AI voices the characters and also talks and comes up with the words and all that stuff. And basically the AI is fed nothing but Skyrim information, and then is able to extrapolate and create a character based on that, and then you can talk to them. You actually talk to them with their voice. They speak back, and you can ask them all sorts of questions, and it's really very immersive in that way.
If you find that again, send that to me. I want to see that.
It's really cool. She usually there's a lot of stuff that I see on YouTube and stuff like that. Like when you're going through shorts, I end up finding her. I can't remember what her name is, honestly, but that's another good use.
You said the game was Skyrim?
Yes, Skyrim AI NPCs. Just look that up. All right, anyway. So Meta's new AI-powered avatars are rolling out across Horizon Worlds, Messenger, and WhatsApp, featuring real-time AI-driven interactions. What makes these avatars unique? Well, all NPCs in VR worlds, where's my hand? There you are, act and respond like real humans. Did I say all? I mean AI NPCs in VR worlds that act and respond like humans. Integration into social platforms, allowing users to chat with AI assistants and digital personas. Celebrity AI clones, that Meta has signed deals with celebrities to create AI-powered digital versions of themselves. Concerns and controversies. Well, there's privacy concerns. So is Meta going to store user conversations and preferences for advertising? Yeah, I don't know. Then there's the uncanny valley issue. Some users feel uncomfortable interacting with AI that's too human-like. And then you got AI-generated influencers. Some fear the rise of AI-generated content creators potentially replacing human influencers and celebrities. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Honestly, I do not.
That's the one thing that I'm concerned about AI right there.
I don't think it's going to happen. It won't be it'll become a fad, and then it's gonna fade away.
I hope so, because
There
I
might
don't want
be
that
a
thing taken over.
few
It's stupid.
fake content creators out there that stick around, but if I can interact with them as a content creator, I'm okay with that. But if they become the most popular thing ever and no one can interact with them other than their little chat thing, and they can't do any kind of collaborations with any other individuals that are real, I don't want a part of it.
True.
So, while we're sticking onto this VR concept and not concept, but conversation with AI and stuff like that, we're gonna move over to VR a little bit again, and we're gonna talk about the future of VR and gaming. So, do you think AAA studios finally are taking VR seriously?
I don't even know what AAA Studios is.
AAA studios like the big AAA games, Call of Duty and Bethesda Softworks and the big creators.
I don't think they take it as seriously as they should.
Do you think they're starting to, though?
Possibly a little bit. They're probably starting to raise little concerns here and there about stuff they want to do.
Okay, well,
we all know PlayStation has VR.
Microsoft does not, but
it's
yes.
strictly PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation is going to allow themselves to basically let Meta merge in with them so they can share libraries to expand the VR gaming.
Yeah, PlayStation would not do that. Sony is not.
Yeah, so
not into that.
I don't think
you saw that with Microsoft offering them an ability to be able to play Microsoft games on PlayStation.
Yep.
Like they literally offered that, and Sony was like, no.
And that's why we still do cross-platform.
It was a very bad idea for them to at least not try to pursue something like, hey, yeah, people can get PlayStations and then they can play, Xbox games on our platform. Like, isn't that a selling point?
It is. It's a high selling point because VR is very popular now.
Yeah. Well, VR gaming has struggled to gain mainstream traction, as we were just talking about. But this year, showing signs of change is happening. The signs of change are happening. So we got Capcom doing their Resident Evil VR success. They had the RE4 VR and RE Village VR. And it's very successful, apparently. Everyone's loving that.
Ooh.
Ubisoft is launching an Assassin's Creed VR, first full-scale open-world VR game in a major franchise.
That is going to be gold.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah, that's absolutely 100%. Valve is rumored to be working on Half-Life Alyx 2, so it's a sequel to the best-rated VR game ever, 100%. Hands down. I'm even going to say it. It is a top performance game. It's an amazing game. Love it. Every facet of that game is just, oh my God.
Did you tell me this game was on sale a while ago? And then I went and I bought it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think I did.
I forgot, but you really should check it out. It's a really good game, especially if you like Half-Life.
I've never really played it. I'll have to check it out.
You really need to. But in light of this news that they're rumored to be working on a Half-Life Alyx 2, we know 100% if there are rumors about Half-Life Alyx 3 after that, it is not true. They don't know how to count to 3. So let's not even get close to entertaining that idea. All right? Anyway, so there's also going to be VR-compatible versions of existing IP that have happened and that will be happening. So there is that. Now, the challenges for VR gaming, you got hardware limitations, expensive headsets, motion sickness is still a barrier. There are ways around that, but they're not perfect, obviously. And we also got lack of exclusive VR games. VR-only games, that is. Most AAA titles still develop for flat screen first, VR second. So until we can start seeing some big games coming out, which looks like it's very possible that that's going to be happening with the Ubisoft Assassin's Creed VR game, open world VR game. Like, seriously, that's amazing. That's an amazing idea. And then Valve working on another Half-Life Alyx. That's going to really propel some interest in the field. We might see an influx of more VR users, specifically on PC, which is always good news. Especially since player base remains super small, at only being 6% of PC gamers that use VR regularly. And PC gamers is still a small facet of the player base of between PC and consoles of all gamers. You know what I mean? It's a very, very small percentage. Yep. So
also on that, you mentioned that most AAA titles are like developed for flat screen before it's VR.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody else knows about this game, but Ace Combat 7 is one of these games. It's definitely really great to play on a flat screen, but it only has like 3 or 4 VR missions. And then if you try to play any other part of that game in VR, you just end up in theater mode with this big flat screen in front of you, all this black space, and you're still using a controller instead of your VR controls.
That reminds me of all the other games that they've come out with so far, like Fallout 4 VR, the VR edition to that, and Skyrim
I was
VR.
never a big fan of Fallout.
And then also No Man's Sky, the VR version of that is a little janky. Still kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I played it a little bit, but it's kind of janky. It's a little weird because you have your controller and you got no joystick. So like someone like you, for instance, you'd probably be into it and get used to it and like it because you're constantly playing like a jet in VR chat, so you kind of know where to place stuff, and you're used to that, so you could play that. It's obviously it's not a simulator, but it's more of a arcade, but you're still you're used to having that joystick that's not a joystick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't turn that into anything other than what I really meant.
I already
stop.
did.
Stop.
Did.
No. Moving on. No, we're moving on now. No.
Dude, I can't get last night out of my head, dude. That shit was so funny.
Oh, it was great. All right, so we're going to move on now. We're done with that. We're done. So moving on, let's talk about the weather. You ready for the weather? You ready for this? Mm-hmm. All right, we got some crazy weather updates. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, a polar vortex shift, anticipating cold blasts coming. So the current situation is a stretched polar vortex event is projected to influence weather patterns in the first week of March 2025. Oh, that's next week.
Oh, no.
Such events can lead to significant cold air outbreaks in mid-latitude regions. So the impacts: temperature drops. Areas in the Midwest and Great Plains may experience below average temperatures. That's me. Snowfall. Increased likelihood of snowstorms, especially in regions prone to late season snowfall. That's me as well. Then we got tornado alley activity. So early season indicators for tornado alley activity include the Reed Trimmer having released forecasts indicating a potential return of Dixie Alley tornado outbreaks in 2025 this year. Let's see here. Areas of concern: the traditional tornado alley would be parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. The Dixie Alley includes the southeastern U.S., including Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. The contributing factors for this would be the jet stream dynamics. The position and strength of the jet stream significantly influence severe weather patterns in these regions. We got warm Gulf air, so unseasonably warm air from the Gulf can increase atmospheric instability, fostering severe storms. So what all that means is things are going to suck, and they're going to suck good.
And if you have flights that week, you should probably reschedule.
Maybe. We're not weather experts, so you should go to the experts for all that. But emergency plans. Residents should review and practice tornado safety protocols, ensure access to safe rooms or community shelters, and utilize weather radios and apps for real-time updates. Don't rely on us every Friday. And so this moves us on to major storm systems that are forecasted. We got Midwest and Northeast, potential snowstorms. So that might lead to late season snow events in the areas that we just mentioned. Snow and ice could result in hazardous driving conditions and flight delays. In the southern states, you got warm, moist air colliding with cooler air masses that may trigger severe storms, like heavy rainfall, hail, and possible tornadoes. On the West Coast, we got in the Pacific, we got coastal areas might experience heavy rainfall, while mountainous regions could see significant snowfall. There is a flooding concern, especially flash floods and mudslides in areas that had recent wildfires. So be careful there, California.
Yep. Oh, wait. If you have a mudslide, please put on your nicest bikini. Enjoy the mud fighting. Oh, we're not promoting mud fights? No mud fights? What are you doing with your finger? Anyways, wear your nicest bikini that day. If the sun's out, go to the beach, have fun.
Really?
What? There's guys who wear bikinis too.
Hey, that was our show. We'll see you next week on Friday. You want to do the outro? Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, guys, we truly appreciate it. There's one thing that I want to bring up that's coming up in April, and I'm going to say this every weekend. So before I say thank you to you guys, if you guys like air shows, MCAS Beaufort, which is Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort here in South Carolina, is having an air show April 12th and April 13th. Admission tickets are free online at www.beaufortairshow.com. Now, there are some tickets that you can buy for VIP areas, but it is a free admission air show. There is food, there is beverages, there's static aircraft. I'm pretty sure last time they brought a tank, which was really cool. The Blue Angels will be there. It's super exciting. If you don't know what a static display is, it's just an aircraft that's sitting there for you to take pictures. Some of these aircraft you can actually walk through, and you can also sit in their cockpit. They had a Black Hawk helicopter that you can take a picture in. It's just super cool. What will you see at an air show if you've never been to one? You'll see flight demonstrations. You'll meet some of the military members who serve this country and provide for your defense, as well as you guys get to enjoy food, beverages, unforgettable memories. You get to witness the Blue Angels. I don't know if you guys never heard of the Blue Angels, but they are a very high-class aerodynamic pilots, and they fly very close, and I mean inches apart from aircraft. On top of that, you'll also see my favorite, also my aircraft that I work on, the F-35 Bravo, which is basically the newest version of a Harrier. It can do it can just hover in place. It can move side to side. It can rotate in a full circle if it wanted to. It's super cool. You'll see bombing demonstrations. You'll see troop deployments from helicopters. It's super cool. There's parachuters that come out and they land in front of you. It's super cool. If you've never seen it, it's definitely worth going to see. Also, I will be there for one of those days with the missus, so chances are you're going to see me there. So if that's something you would like to do, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to come out and see you guys and say hello. So if you're interested in that, please remember April 12th and 13th. You have to get your tickets online. They're free admission for the general public, but they do have VIP tickets. Those VIP tickets are limited. So if you do want them, you have to get them now. How do you feel about air shows? Do you like air shows? I like air shows.
I've been to quite a few.
Yes.
Offutt Air Force Base usually has Air Force shows every single year. This year, we didn't have the Blue Angels for one reason or another, but we oftentimes always do have the Blue Angels, so I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, dude, it's so fun.
We did have some other jet fighters that were flying around. That was cool because they flew around the majority of Bellevue as well as over Offutt Air Force Base. So the wife and I were able to go to a Culver's, and we went and got some food with the kids, and we sat and watched all the planes going back and forth, all the jets, the radar jet up in the air was going around too.
Yep.
That was really cool. And they got pretty close to the floor. Yep. Or sorry, they got pretty close to the ground, that is.
Oh yeah, there's stunt pilots that they fly like little prop planes. They'll fly close to the ground and shoot straight up into the sky. It'll cut the engine, and then it'll kind of like nosedive towards the floor. They'll kick the engine back on and just take off and they'll level out with the ground about like 15, 20 feet, and then they'll pull back up into the sky. Super cool.
Yeah, we were a little far away to see any of that shenanigans happening. I know there was a lot more stuff happening, but we just didn't go on to the base because it was a hot day. The sun was out.
Oh, yeah.
It was, and being on the tarmac and all that stuff would just be terrible for us. So we decided to just go to a restaurant and chill.
Watch it from there. Thanks for bringing that up, too. If you guys do decide to go to this air show, please bring sunscreen. Bring sunscreen. Dress comfortably and ensure you hydrate, drink water, and stay in shaded areas. There are a lot of open areas out in the sun, not many shaded. Please take care of yourself. You don't want to end up passing out in this South Carolina heat. It is not fun.
Yes, and if it's anything like Nebraska and Offutt Air Force Base, don't bring any chairs, don't bring any umbrellas, don't bring anything like that. They don't want you to have that anyway.
Yes. There are some people that do bring chairs because their seats are out in the field. Some will bring a blanket to sit on. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend bringing a chair because chances are you're going to be up and moving the entire time because there's always something different to see. They do have helicopter rides there as well, so you have to pay extra for it because it's a little company that comes up for the side, so you'll have to pay for that. But you will get a helicopter ride there too if you pay for that. So that's super cool.
But at my air show at Offutt Air Force Base, they actually explicitly said chairs would not be allowed, among other things. So just check with the website with what he's talking about. See what's allowed, see what's not. There's always a list. There's always something you're not allowed to have or you're allowed to have.
If you have an extra, I think it's a couple $100 in your pocket, they do have some very nice sport cars that you guys can test drive.
Ooh.
But that's very pricey. Yeah, it's usually like a very nice Porsche, or last time we had one, they had a beautiful Lamborghini. It was beautiful. And you guys can go in there, and this guy would drift this vehicle around. You'll see cars racing down the flat line. You'll see them racing the jets. Chances are it's going to race the F-35. It's super cool. What's another thing to do? Oh, I don't know if they're going to have it this year, but they had a basic. I'm going to call it Optimus Prime, right? They have the body of the truck, but it has like 3 jet power engines on the back, and you can feel the heat when that thing is going off. I don't know if they're going to have it this year, though.
Wouldn't that be Optimus Starscream?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Isn't that what the jet one's called? Is Starscream?
Starscream, yeah. That one.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know what I meant.
In terms of me, do I have any announcements? No, not really. I don't really have any announcements at all for the next week. So I don't really have much that I'm working on other than, going live. Yeah, so there's that. Tune in Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday on the wife's TikTok live, Frankie's.wife5, at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to watch her cook dinner. That's the only announcement that I got.
Ooh. Yum, yum.
Yeah, her live today was amazing.
What'd you make?
Not a lot of diamonds. Not a lot at all. But she had...
I meant food.
Oh, what did she make for food?
Yes.
Really? It was like nothing. It was like macaroni and cheese with dino nuggies. Like there wasn't much in terms of
Yeah,
cooking.
but that's still delicious. You can take the mac and cheese, foam it into an island, and then Jurassic Park it.
She had a concurrent viewer of like 200 people.
Holy shit!
Yeah, she was doing good. So hopefully it increases from there and goes up even further.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's exciting.
I agree. Anyway, I don't have much else of anything to add at all.
Alrighty. Well, I don't have anything to add either, but you guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We are live every Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We hope to see you next Friday. Some of these topics may be the same, such as new releases if something new comes out. But Florida Man has definitely been one of our always have a story for. If we do have more announcements, we will let you guys know. Please click on our social link in our bio, so that way you can follow us on our Instagram, our Twitter, or I guess I should call it X now. We also do have a TikTok page where we will be uploading our clips too, so that way you guys on TikTok can see us as well. We look forward to see you guys soon, which is fairly close. It's only another 7 days from today. You guys are awesome. Stay fantastic. I love you. He loves you. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. See y'all later.
Bye.
I'm out of here.
Thanks for watching our podcast. We hope to see you next time. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you always know when we're going live again. Thank you so much for all the support you guys showing us. We really, really appreciate it. In time, as our community starts to grow, we look forward to having special guests. Many of your choices that you guys tell us, or people that we find interesting, would like to have on the show. So if you're interested in this, let us know. If you haven't already, be sure to follow Frankie the Dog at Bolted and Frisky, and Royal at The Royal Sergeant Annie on TikTok. Most likely they're going live on TikTok shortly after this. They also have other social medias that you can find in their profiles. Be sure to check them out. Once again, we truly appreciate the support, and we would love to see you guys again soon. But for now, we'll see you later. Goodbye!